If you're suspecting that there's fraud in that people come to vote in the name of somebody else, you could take a sample of those folks, recontact back to those people to see whether in fact they came to the poll. That would be one method of doing an evaluation of whether you're getting fraudulent people coming to vote.
I believe the next person I saw was Representative Ross.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Hall talked about all sorts of different ways that we might deal with any voter fraud that might happen, and we've been having these hearings on just one way of dealing with perceived voter fraud, and that would be getting a photo ID. But a photo ID wouldn't necessarily deal with what I think was an excellent suggestion from Mr. I'm going to take a shot at it, Spakovsky, which was to have this cross-check for with other states about whether or not people are registered in two places, and that has nothing to do with having a valid photo ID, and might produce many more situations of problems with voting than a photo ID would. So if we're really going to talk about dealing with any kind of voter fraud, maybe we should look for the ways that are more likely to produce invalid voting than requiring all these people to get photo IDs who don't have them. So back to Mr. Hall, when people come and sign the poll book, there's a signature that's compared, where you have a comparison. And so is that what you were talking about, to do the cross-check for people who show up who might not be the right person?
Well, no, I was talking about an actual survey, pay somebody to contact back to the voters. If you want to do a rigorous survey, she's right, you need to do a statistical sample that's valid. Notably, some will not respond, but of those that respond, see what kind of data you get of everyone that said they voted on such and such a date. Even go back and contact them. Did you vote at this day? If you get a discrepancy, you got a red flag that's being set off. The attestation that is now used in North Carolina was actually a compromise that began in 2003. A lot of voters are not even aware that when they sign in at the polling place, they are subjecting themselves to a felony violation if they lie. I think we need to have more public education about the actual process that is going on right now, that our system puts you in jeopardy if you walk into a polling place and you lie. I think people tend to know that, this is a sacred operation they're involved in, something very special, but to elevate the importance and in fact prosecute people that are lying. I'm definitely in favor of weeding out fraud in our state and making examples of people that are committing the frauds, so that people will take this even more seriously. But the system we have is working. It is working very well, and it's not something I don't. You need to demonstrate the failure of the system before you spend buku bucks to fix it.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a follow-up question and then a question to another panel member?
You may.
The next question, Mr. Hall, is in terms of absentee voting, where somebody fills out a request and then it goes to a home, and then we don't know who fills out the ballot, and then it's sent back to the Board of Elections with a signature. Do you think that there's opportunity for voter fraud there, or do you think that the system for dealing with the absentee ballots is secure? Do we need more on absentee ballots?
Well, I think even Hans would agree that the mail-in absentee method is the preferred way that people will cheat. And it is a place where you need to add security if you're worried about security. And I think we should be, if we're moving into this direction, ultimately we're moving in the direction of requiring everybody to have a national ID. That's where all of this is moving. I hope people, the conservatives, recognize that. That's what this is all moving toward, is a national ID for all citizens of the United States and non-citizens. But I think for the absentee ballot, the method that is used to verify that or require an identity, that's the same one that should be the standard for the walk-in person. If we ask for a photo ID of the person who comes to vote, why not ask for a photo ID of the person who mails in their ballot? Ask them to put in a you know, I think that's an extreme measure. I think you will wind up in this bill, as I understand it, there's an effort to add a new requirement, say add some kind of identifying number when you mail in your mail-in ballot, like a birth date, a Social Security number, your driver's license number. So why wouldn't that be the same backup system for somebody who comes in, is in person, is asked for an ID, they don't have an ID, either they forgot it or they don't have one, ask them for their last 4 digits of their Social Security number. Ask them for their birth date. Let them sign the attestation. That's as good as what you're going to do for the absentee ballot. If you don't have it level, that's an equal protection claim that will be leveled against this state for trying to put that process in place.
Okay. Just a final question, Mr. Chairman, for one of the other panelists.
The lady's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.